Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Vibing After Dark _ with Mo. And if you're new to my channel, how about hit that subscribe button? And if you're a returning subscriber, how about sending it to a family or a friend so they can vibe out with us? And please, 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 please make sure y'all like this video. That helps out a lot, and thanks in advance. Alright you guys, so as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Monique's son coming out and telling his side of the story about him and Monique's relationship. He came online to respond back to her comment that she made on Club Shay Shay when she said she just hoped the universe works it out for them in their relationship. And he came back out and spoke on basically saying that, they both don't care to mend their relationship. And then Monique and her husband came online and they explained like their side of the story of what went on and what went wrong with their relationship. And then Karlissa come and hop herself in the comment section to give her little 2 cents of what she feel about the situation. Okay, so getting straight into the video, the first thing I want to play y'all is the clip where he going back and forth about the way he feel from what she said on Club Shay Shay.
The Club Shay Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship.
It's one of those things where you have to pray to the universe and say, let time do the healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it. Let time do that healing. It may heal it in time and it may not.
Right.
And that's something that we as parents have to say, listen,
Right.
I've done what I could do. I've taken accountability for it. Now it's up to you.
My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation. And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you know.
Okay, so before I play the rest of that clip, the thing I just want to say is I am not a parent, but I definitely cannot see myself, if I was a parent, washing my hands with my child. But again, like I said, I'm not a parent, so I have not went through anything of that sort. But maybe some people can say that as parents, they've tried all they can try to get along with their kid or reconcile with their kid. And if the kid feel a certain way and they don't want to move past the hurt, then, what can you do? And that's what it kind of sounded like happened with Monique and her son. Like I've heard she said sometimes that, she know that she went wrong with her son and raising him. And even Lunel, like with her kid, I remember she said, she been on the road so much that she didn't spend time with her kid. And it was a little bit when her kid got older is when she realized, the damage she's caused to her child. And that sounded like what she did, this situation with Monique and her son. Like the damage was already done, and then she went and had kids with this new husband, and it kind of messed them all up. And then it was kind of too late to make it work for him. I don't know. That's just my thoughts of what it sounded like was going on. But anyway, let me play y'all the rest of that clip.
Daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views. That rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, those were things that I was willing to get over. Compassion and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things. My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well, and anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life.
Okay, so y'all heard what he had to say. Now, Karlissa had to add her little 2 cents in, and she said, "Baby, you jealous of them strangers that you had to share your mother with, and she didn't cater to you acting out. You sound like she gave you too much, and then you wanted her all to yourself, and that's so very sad. Monique, keep going, mama." And then somebody must be commenting. She said, "Your vote don't matter." And I think that was like so crazy for her to say, and that's probably why Blueface act the way he act now. Because if he telling you his experience and what he felt, I mean, you cannot tell him what he felt. Like he said, Monique acknowledged the fact of where she went wrong in raising him. So I don't think he's storing. I think he just telling his feelings. So somebody else said, "Boy, bye. You famous baby kill me. Y'all cry, but still spend all the money, enjoy the gifts, love the nannies until it stops. Or you want public attention. We all go family problems." She meant God. And then Karlissa started laughing. Somebody else said, "How old is he? He look grown. What parenting is left after kid has left the nest?" So somebody else said, "Monique already said she messed up when she was raising you. She tried to build a relationship once she was settled into her career, but you ain't want it. The blood is no longer on her hands." And somebody said, "These comments really prove that y'all don't really want to allow space for men to be vulnerable. He has right to feel, process, respond, and express his situation with his mother, the same way Mo has had for years. Now, space to express her forgiveness." Shaking my head. Okay, so the last 2 comments was like, he's speaking on his experience, just like she's been speaking on hers. Hold mothers to the same standards we hold deadbeat dads too. We hear this from celebrity kids all the time. Parents chasing the bag to provide for their kids. The kids feel neglected. The parents end up regretting it. He said that she has apologized, but he didn't accept it. He's triggered because she said she's praying that God, the universe, brings them back together. His feelings are valid, but what more can she do if he's not ready to accept her apology and move forward? And why is this news? Now, I agree with that person right there. Like I said, his feelings is valid. He have the right to express how he felt when, he was a kid up until now. But Monique is not also wrong either. She tried to make it right, but he's not wanting to make it right. So she kind of back away. So I guess that's what she, when I say in the beginning, I don't see how parents wash their hands. But then I did say too, maybe she felt like she did all she can. She tried, as much as she could try, but he still is not ready to receive her back in. So she don't know what else to do. So that's why she's asking, for time or the universe or God to, allow time, and hopefully it can work. And then she said maybe it won't, because she don't know. But anyway, so let me play y'all the clip of her and her husband speaking on the situation.
Start off with, there was Instagram that was put up, or I guess
It was TikTok, baby.
TikTok that was put up by
My son. My oldest son, Shalon. And this is what I want to say to this. There are some people that are saying, "Oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself." This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that said to me I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalon. When you say her daddy, then that's when mommy gonna say stop playing, because you know this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say her 3 sons, Yes, you're absolutely right. He has 3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
And love that brother. And the irony of all of this is,
Okay, pause right there. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. So this is like one of the first things that probably hurt him. So he was Monique's best friend like for years while she was with his dad. So he was calling him Uncle Sid then. So when her and her husband, which is Shalon dad, divorced, she got with her best friend. So now he feeling like he got to call him dad, or he wants to call him dad. And he was like, no, still call me uncle. What do y'all feel about that? So that's the first mess up right there.
is not what is said, but what's left off.
Yes.
See, you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. You're forgetting about how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half of the down payment for it. And you were 31 years of age, 32 years of age at that point. And I'm negotiating the deal with the dealer for you as you sit there. And you have the vehicle you're driving right now because of your mother. These are the things that you're leaving out when you're expressing what you're expressing in reference to your mother. You're not expressing the relationship that you have with your father, where you spoke ill to him, not to mention spoke ill to your mother, but somehow your mother and father and I all have a loving relationship and communicate back and forth because of the love that we have for you. The one thing these individuals, and to the individuals out here that oftentimes speak after they've heard one side of the story, there's an old saying, believe half of what you see and none of what it is that you hear. Please don't take our word for it, but what we will convey is this. Those who are parents and have raised their parents up to being adults.
Your children. Raise their children up to be an adult.
Right on. Those who are parents that raise their children into adulthood know that there comes a time and a place in which they determine their own decisions, their own path. You can have multiple children that are raised in one house, but they act and they take on different things. The reason why it was so important for us to entertain these conversations that we typically have privately, or that we're influenced to have privately amongst the people in our community, is because we need to stop being embarrassed about being human beings and about being black human beings. You will oftentimes hear us saying we are embarrassing ourselves in front of them. Who is them?
Who are they?
Because when you hear someone articulate these things, that is the slave's mentality. It makes us believe that we as black people need to conduct ourselves with dignity because white people are watching. You should conduct yourself with dignity because the spirit of you is watching.
Come on.
But we need to have these conversations out loud and taboo because we have a finite period of time together here on this earth. You will travel through infinity with the spirit that you have all alone, and you will not remember the ridicule that you receive, but you will be judging yourself. You will be determining for the rest of your life which way that you go as you have thus far. So this conversation is about speaking directly to what situations are. And many people oftentimes, when they are presented with an issue, they stay quiet, they hide, they disappear. And what we're saying is that's not who we are, because what you cannot do is you cannot trick an honest person.
Come on.
You can demean, you can say whatever you want to say about them negatively, but what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. Challenges that this young brother has had with mental illness. So we're communicating that out loud to speak to our community, to say, listen, y'all, if we have more public conversations, there will be less private angst.
Come on.
There will be less private issues that we carry on because we're afraid to communicate in front of white folks.
So when we get to a place where you want to be free, you will stop being scared to say what's real. You'll stop being fearful of having conversations that normally take place in private and nobody ever really knows the outcome. And from there, when you were saying earlier about how we're looking in front of white folks. When I do hear our brother Greg Mathis say, the studio is watching y'all and the executives are watching y'all, so what?
If the executives are watching closely, the individuals that would want to interact with us are those who are engaged and are in alignment with what is true.
Come on.
All right, so since that Club Shay Shay interview, everybody been speaking out, just like the same thing that happened when Cat Williams went on that. Everybody was talking for like maybe a week and a half. So this is the same thing that Monique is going through. But y'all let me know, what do y'all feel about the son coming out and saying what he said and them responding back to what they said? Leave in the comment section below. I do comment back, and I catch you guys on next video. Bye.